Students, let's practice how to calculate intrinsic value of a firm by the DDM model. We are going to use the non-constant, the growth rate model, as indicated here, 2012 to 2016. We have the payout ratio 75%, but after 2016, we have a permanent growth rate in a different payout ratio. Okay, here return on equity given throughout the project years from year 2012 to permanently the 20%. That is the base to get the growth rate, right? The return on equity is supposed to be the rate of return to the equity holders. But from some the part of this, the return on equity will be distributed as the dividend percentage and the reinvested in the company, right? And then we are given this $100 million equity, the book value of equity of the ending balance last year. So the beginning balance of this, the book value of equity must be 100 million, right? How do you calculate book value of equity ending balance? Why do we need this ending balance? Because we want to start this beginning balance of next year. The book value of equity plus earnings, the net income of that year minus the dividend of the year is equal to the book value of equity. As long as there's no other the transactions. So here, the earnings. How to calculate the earnings or net income? What we are given is 20% return on equity. Return on equity is net income over the beginning the book value of equity. So we can use this 20%, right? So 20% times, right, the book value of equity. So we got the $20 million was the net income of the projected year one. And then dividend of the year, now we have to use this payout ratio, the 75%, right? Out of this net income, the company decided to pay out their dividend, so 75%, which is given. And then what we have to do is just sum those up, minus the dividend. And then the beginning balance of the next year, beginning balance of the book value is ending balance of the 2012 project year. And then rest of the part we can just drag so that the 20% of the return on equity they apply to the book value of the beginning balance of equity, right? And then next year's the 75% is still the payout ratio. We are going to apply that 75% the payout ratio throughout the year 2016, 12 or 2016. But 65% after year 2016. And then we have this book value of equity, right? And then let's just drag. Then the last year balance is starting from ending balance of the last year and the beginning balance of 2016. And then 20%, we have exactly the same formula as the previous years. Now, the permanent value, because the company has infinite maturity, right? Assuming that the company will live forever. So we have the projection only 5 years, but all the future cash flow must include infinite value. So how do we calculate this permanent value? Again, here on the slide, what we practiced here, this present value at the year end. The year 5 must include, right, the permanent value with the constant growth rate after year 5, right? And then we are going to use this constant golden growth model, including this future cash flow permanently at the end of year 5. So permanent value, how do we calculate? Oh, again, we need growth rate, new growth rate here. So the permanent growth rate of the dividend after year 2016, how do we calculate this? Right, we need 20%, the ROE, which is a base, right? We want to allocate some percentage out of this 20% to the payout ratio and to the retention ratio. The payout ratio we are given year after year 16 is 65%. But what we want to calculate is the retention ratio. Retention ratio is to calculate the growth rate, because the reason why the company retain this percentage out of a 20% return on equity is to grow, right? Is to expand their business. So this is 7% will be used in the permanent growth rate in 2000 and from 2016, end of 2016 to the permanently. So the permanent value is now, what is the dividend? 0 at the time 2016, right? That dividend of the year is the dividend 0, but 2016, from then on, we have to increase this growth rate to 7%, and then divided by the dividend model, we put this 8%, which is the required rate of return, and then growth rate one more time, 7%, and then we got this, the permanent value. Now the free cash flow. The book value of equity is not the free cash flow. Free cash flows generated by the business is the dividend cash out, right? And then let's just drag. So the last year must include this, right? The future cash flows calculated at the time of end of 2016, right? Including all the future cash flows. So we have a total the free cash flow by the DDM model. Intrinsic value of the firm now is easy to calculate. We are using the MPV function, where is the required rate of return 8%, right? 8%, and then let's drag all the future cash flows. Again, this 2016 future cash flows include the permanent future cash flows. That's why we calculate this permanent value or horizontal value. And then we got this 1,393 is the intrinsic value of the firm by this DDM model. Okay, this is all the explanation of intrinsic value of the firm by DDM model. Yes, bye-bye.